हो वही ये सोची रखवा वाहिगुरु 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 वाहिगुरु। इस शब्द दे नाल कीर्तन की समाप्ति है। एक मिनट है अपने को, सारे आओ अपनी अपनी बिरके टका के इस अकाल पुरख का सिमरन करिए, सारे ही रल के सतनाम श्री वाहिगुरु सतनाम श्री वाहिगुरु सतनाम श्री वाहिगुरु सतनाम श्री वाहिगुरु सतनाम 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 वाहिगुरु 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 सतनाम 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 वाहिगुरु 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 जपो सतनाम 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 वाहिगुरु 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 सतनाम 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 वाहिगुरु वाहिगुरु। इतनी सेवा प्रवान करना जी, कीर्तन करना उन्ना भुलना संगत बख्शण जोग है, सतगुरु बख्शण जोग है। आओ बुलाइए फतेह। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।
श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहब दी हजूरी विच बैठे सारी संगत, आओ एक बार मिलके फतेह दी सांझ पाइए। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा। So today we have a few very special guests who have joined us in our Sunday service, and I, on behalf of Gurdwara Nishkam Sewa, we welcome you all. Before I introduce you all to the Sangat, I want to give a little bit context of why you all are here. So post 9/11, we have seen a lot of hate crimes towards different communities, and unfortunately, Sikh religion has been one of the highest targets of hate crimes. So although there has been a lot of awareness programs that have been created by the government organizations and non-profit organizations, but we still feel that there is a lot more to do collectively and individually. So with that in mind, we invited our guests to, for a couple of reasons. One, to show them what we do in Sunday service, and second, to create, seek guidance of how to create awareness amongst our fellow Americans to engage them in dialogues. So without further taking any time, I would like to invite Officer Ronnie Parsley, who works in Irving Police Department, and he often patrols the Gurdwara area, so he knows this community. We welcome you, sir.
Sir, for inviting me today. My name is John Lowett. I'm an attorney and I practice immigration law full-time. However, as part of my practice, I have been representing members of the Sikh community for the last 35 years. And after September 11th, things became very cloudy. That's when the hate crimes towards the Sikh community really picked up in this country. And they haven't slowed down. And in America, unfortunately, there is a long history of racial and religious hatred. And it always seems to rear its ugly head at the worst possible time. And at this particular time, with the elections coming up, we're in a period of time where racial and ethnic hatred is center stage in politics today. And so when those kind of things happen, that seems to bring out the people that are filled with hate and venom. And so there's some simple things you can do. First, a hate crime. A hate crime is a regular crime like assault or aggravated assault, but the purpose of the perpetrator in inflicting the punishment or the harm is because of the ethnic or racial or religious background of the person who is the victim. So it's not a special crime, it's a regular crime that has that added level of hate. directed because of racial or ethnic or religious stereotype. So the best thing that can be done is to become aware and be aware of everything that is going on, reading the news, knowing what is happening in the community. It's very important that people understand that there are people here in Irving that will take complaints if you feel that you've been victimized or if you feel you're about to be victimized. There are people that you can talk to. Now, there's a lot of materials that I brought, much of it from the Sikh Coalition, another organization called SALT, about hate crimes and about resources that are available if you want to learn more about it, learn more what you can do about it, and become more aware. And it's my understanding that all of these resources that are on paper form out on that table will be online and available to you very shortly. The first thing is that there are certain things that you should do. The first thing is that if you feel that you're going to be a victim of a hate crime, the first and most important thing is your personal safety. That's number one. Second most important thing is that you observe what happened. Try to record details of the incident if it occurred. Write things down. If you have a phone and can possibly take pictures, take pictures. Documenting the hate crime is very, very important. Because in the event that the person was found, in order to have a conviction, you'd have to prove that that person was the one who had committed the hate crime. So pictures, notes are very, very important. Report the incident to local law enforcement. That is critical. And that is why Officer Paisley has been so kind as to come today. The purpose of this is to build a bridge between this community and the Irving police so that you know that there is a place where you can go if you feel that you are about to be victimized or you have been victimized. The other thing that you should know is that recently the FBI has begun for the first time collecting statistics concerning hate crimes against Sikhs. And this is the first time that that's been done. And they're also collecting records of hate crimes against Muslims as well. So it is very important that you report what happened to you, because these statistics are very important. It's the only way we can gauge the level of this threat and the success of the community in being educated and avoiding being a victim of a hate crime. Contact community organizations like the Sikh Coalition or like SALT that are very interested in this topic, and that there's lots of resources that they have for you too on all different levels. And then finally, be prepared to speak to the media. It's very important that hate crimes be in the media so that people are aware of them. If people don't know about it, they won't be on guard and they won't be able to protect themselves from a very difficult situation. And so it's very important that the world know what's going on and that you not keep it a secret. And as I said, there's a whole network of civil rights organizations that exist specifically to address this type of crime. And they're very, very good. I've worked with the Sikh Coalition and with SALT now for about 3 years, and I can only tell you that they are a tremendous resource and give of their time day and night for the civil rights of the Sikh community. Well, thank you very much. Now I'd like to turn this over to Officer Ronnie Paisley from the Irving Police Department. He will discuss what local resources are available to you.
My name's Officer Parsley. I work patrol for the city of Irving. I've been with the Irving Police Department since October of 2013. Prior to that, I was a police officer in the state of California. I worked for 2 agencies there. The one that you might recognize would be the city of San Jose. There's 2 aspects of Irving and San Jose that are very similar. San Jose is just much larger, but they're culturally very diverse and very, very similar. So I have some prior experience that can be filtered into this as well. Some resources that we have here at the Irving Police Department: we have a community services program, which is headed up by a Sergeant Palomar, and they have several officers and community representatives that are there perform services and such. They are a tremendous asset. If they don't know how to assist you, they will turn you to the right direction and give you that guidance that's needed. He is currently working out of the South Patrol Station, which is at 305 North O'Connor, and it's a division that's down on the first floor, right at the front doors. When you walk into the police department, there's the person that's behind the glass doors, and you would just have to simply ask for Sergeant Palomar or anyone from the Community Services Bureau, if you will, and they'll be glad to assist you. Like I said, I work patrol. This is my area. I patrol from 183 south down to Irving Boulevard, and on the east side, it's about Loop 12 to Britton Road on the west. I work day shift. I start at 6 a.m., I work till 6 p.m., and I work the weekends, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and every other Sunday. So I have not had it, knock on wood, 0 issues in this area since I've been here. I started working here in August. We kind of move around. My next shift, I'll be going north of 183 and working north of 183 in the MacArthur area. But I'll be back down here eventually. I just got bumped because I'm low on seniority. But some additional resources that we have with the Irving Police Department, it's called the Family Advocacy Center. And primarily it deals with adult protective services, child protective services, domestic violence victims. But it's a building located at 600 East Pioneer. And it's a large building, and they actually house more individuals than that. And once again, if they can't, help you out, they will definitely get you pointed out in the right direction. There's some very, very good people there, and there's a ton of people with a ton of experience located in that building. So they will be more than helpful in guiding you to where you need to be. I spoke with Sergeant Palomar regarding this, and I spoke with Mr. Lawit back there regarding this as well. I'm not going to get too in-depth on hate crime, because to me, crime is crime. Whether it's got the word hate in front of it or it doesn't, it's all bad. And that's my job, is to hopefully reduce crime levels, be visible, and be an asset for anyone that needs me and that needs the help and guidance. And that's what my job is, to help and guide and provide a better quality of life for individuals within the community of Irving. And I strive to do that. So I got with Sergeant Palomar, and he has some safety tips, if you will, for when you're at your house, in your daily life, really. Number one is keep your doors and windows locked at all times, even when you're at home. Do routine checks on those. So before you go to bed, I'm kind of fanatical about it, but I'll check it like twice. Make sure it's locked. It could have fooled me the first time. I'll check my windows. Another safety tip that's not on here that I've seen work very well is, if you know what PVC piping is for your irrigation systems and such, it's the plastic pipes, and you can cut them to any length, and they're really easy to cut. You get like an inch or a 3/4 inch PVC pipe, and you put it in the bottom of your windowsill if they open side to side. If they open vertically, you put it on the side of the window going up and down, and this will basically prevent the window from being opened. So if it does come unlocked, now there's a pipe in place. Alarms are great. They're a great deterrent. And if you're home, that will reduce the likelihood of a home invasion style robbery. And like Mr. Lawit said, it's all about your personal safety. All of the goods that you have in your house, those can be replaced. Flesh, blood, things like that cannot be replaced. So keep that in mind. Keep your side gates locked at all times. Keep your garage doors in the downward position and locked at all times. People don't think about it if you have pets at home. The little doggy doors, kitty cat doors, those are access points for people. So try and find a way to secure those if possible. High dollar items, whether it's in your car, on your person, in your house, try not to flaunt them. Try and keep them in an inconspicuous spot. that's not visible if somebody's walking by your house, because it becomes a target, which makes you a target if you're in that house. Safe deposit box at the post office or local banks are a good idea to rent. Consider that as an option. Lighting around your house, lighting in a parking lot, lighting wherever you're at. Lighting is your friend. When the sun goes down, most of the good people in the world also go down with it. And there's essentially cops and criminals that are out on the streets at that time. So keep that in mind. It's proof positive. I'll let you know. So when you're walking around, look for well-lit places. Park in a well-lit place. Park close to where you're going so that you're not walking 1.5 miles to get to your destination. Be in pairs. Don't be out there solo by yourself. They look for targets of opportunity. And if they see a target of opportunity, they take advantage of that target. And then it becomes a crime. Outdoor lighting, keep them on after dark. Or if you don't want to keep them on, because I understand the price of lighting and things like that, motion lighting is an exceptional thing, and they are very bright and very effective. If somebody knocks on your door and you're not expecting anyone, probably not a good time to open the door. The criminals will knock on the door and see if there's a response, and if you open it, they'll force their way inside and they will take advantage of you. If you are expecting somebody, double check. There's a peephole, a window. Verify that this is the person that you're expecting to be at your house, your apartment, your place of residence. Be aware of who you allow into your home, even if they're friends or family. Just be cognizant of who is actually entering your house. And we're all humans. We make mistakes, but we're all good judges of character. So just make sure that is triggering on when you let somebody into your house. If you're renting, or if you're a homeowner, or what have you, if your peephole, like I just mentioned, is obscured, that needs to be taken care of. If you're renting, you need to get with your landlord and let them know that this is an issue, and I need this peephole unobscured so that I can see who is entering or coming near my house. Same thing with the doors and window locks. Don't put them off. Make sure that they're effectively doing their job and ensuring the safety of your valuables and yourself. Or if there's any lighting that's out, make sure that we get those things corrected. Cash, I'm not sure. I know different cultures are different. Some cultures, and I'm not 100% sure on your culture, I apologize. But I know cash is, some cultures do not believe in banks. Some cultures believe that they need to keep it in underneath their mattress or wherever. Be aware of this, because I'm not a criminal, so I'm not trying to target anyone and steal anything from them. But there are people that do, and the World Wide Web, the internet, is full of fabulous information, and they look this stuff up and they figure it out and they find out who you are, and they target you based on your culture, based on who you are as a person and what they've read, and they will follow you and they'll case your house. They'll do surveillance on your house, figure out when you leave, when you come home. They'll know your schedule better than you know your schedule, and they'll target your place. Lock the doors behind you, even if you just run out to the mailbox or the laundromat or taking your pet for a walk. You think, I'm only going to be gone 5 minutes. It only takes 30 seconds. And then bad things happen in that time period. Be aware of your surroundings. I know Mr. Lawwitt hit on this, but be aware of your surroundings. Like I said, walk in packs. Walk in multiple people. Don't be solo. And like myself, I'm always constantly checking around, seeing who's in the area. You know, you never know when it could happen. Okay? The crime could happen against me just as easily as it could happen against you. And I'm Mr. Head on a Swivel. So that's how you should treat it as well, especially unfamiliar areas, dark areas, anything of that nature, but pretty much all the time. Like Mr. Lawwitt said, notify us. We're your friends. I'm not your enemy. I'm here to help. I have no boundaries, no cultural issues. I'm here to help anyone and everyone that needs help. I'm for it. And I know my partners out there are in the same exact boat. So we're all good people trying to help good people, and that's it. How you can notify police if you see anything suspicious. If it's out of the ordinary and it raises the hairs on the back of your neck per se, or it strikes you as odd, it's different, call us. All you need to do is say there's a suspicious person on a bicycle, a suspicious vehicle, whatever it is. If you can, try and obtain the license plate. Try and obtain the make, approximate year, model, color, anything that would help us. It's a white 4-door car. I can't see the license plate and I'm not going to get that close. Okay, I have a saying, be a good witness, not a victim. Try and get the most information that you can, but don't put yourself in a place that's going to make you become a victim. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Don't get too close. And that's the same for me. I know Mr. Law would ask me about what kind of force can be used in certain situations. If you fear for your life, you take whatever force you need to. Anything goes. If you're fearing for your life, you think your life is on that threshold that you may not make it, you do what you need to do. All right? Always. I carry a firearm all the time. Unless there's certain limited areas that I cannot carry a firearm. Whether I'm off duty, on duty, if my garage door is open, I have a gun on me. Okay? And even that doesn't protect me all the time. So I'm not going to go out there and engage somebody. If they have a rifle and I have a pistol, it's not a very good match for me. I'm likely going to lose. So I'm going to be a better witness during that time and not potentially be a victim, because I do have a family. I have a wife and I have children, and they would like to see me. Some people probably don't want to see me, but they do. So keep that in mind. You always have to weigh it out. It's the big scales of life. Is it worth it? Potentially losing your life, is it worth it to be the hero? Or, you can be a hero by just grabbing a license plate. And then we can go from there and track them down and handle our business. So always think about being a witness first and not a victim. And sometimes you're just going to be put in a position where you have to take action. Let's see if any of these are change or different. Suspicious activities or persons, unfamiliar people sitting in cars, walking around. Anything that's unfamiliar to us, call 911. I don't care if it comes in on the non-emergency number, the emergency number. That doesn't matter to me. And if the dispatchers get angry with you, so be it. They'll probably never hear from you again. It doesn't matter. That's their job. Parking in well-lit areas. Don't be distracted by your cell phones. Raise a hand. Who has cell phones? Smartphones. Yeah, they should all probably be up there except for the little ones. Yeah, they're cool. They got games and all the apps, and they're fun. And you can walk around and not pay attention and run right into a tree. You just never know. But at the same time, somebody's watching you, looking down, not paying any attention. You're a target. Don't be a target. That game, that text message, all of that can wait. Can wait until you're in a more secure area than an unlit parking lot. Taking the trash out, doing business, going to your mailbox, taking your dog for a walk. Try and do it before the sun goes down. When the sun's up, trust me, there's a lot better people in the world that are out. And there's more people, more witnesses. Being aware of your surroundings. Sergeant Palomar provided me with a sheet, and I'm going to set them out front before I leave. It's a suspect identification form. Basically, it's got description of the face. So it goes through and it has eyes, glasses, nose, mustache, kind of varying things that if you're in a situation, you can pull this out or just kind of read it before, at some time, and you'll remember some of this stuff. But it goes through, the color of the eyes, whether there were glasses, nose, the shape or size, mustache, goatee, beard, sideburns, what kind of chin. I have like a blocky kind of face. I've always been told that it stands out. So ears, were they wearing earrings? Things that you never really think of. The hands. LeBron James has huge hands. I don't. But that would stand out and you would remember that. Then clothing is the various, hat, shirt, pants, jacket, shoes, what kind of jewelry, and then suspect information, gender, race, complexion, hair color, hair length, eyebrows. Goes through a whole gamut of stuff. I'm going to leave these out there. And then has vehicle. Vehicles are big for us because it ties us to a person. We can find that information very easily. And then weapons. It goes through different weapons. And it has a little picture of a silhouette of a person, and you could do whatever you want on there. So these are great because in a crime, we're going to have 5 different perspectives, maybe less, maybe more, but potentially a lot of perspectives of that crime. We could have somebody that was a foot away from the assailant. We could have somebody that was 5 feet away, somebody that was 10 feet away, somebody that was 100 feet away. And they're all going to see and remember different aspects. So it's important to kind of jot down what you remember. Take some time and then think about it and say, this is what I remember. It's also important not to talk to anyone because that will skew your memory. And I don't want your memory getting skewed because you fail to tell us something, and that could have been the key piece of evidence. So you can talk about it after you've talked to the police, and then if you recall something, bring it to their attention again. But we like unbiased, unskewed recollections. And whether we'll get 5 different descriptions, that's fine, because somewhere is the right one. We know that. I got with Sergeant Palomar, and he also provided me with it's called RAD. And it's not RAD like, yeah, that's cool from the 80s. It's Rape, Aggression, Defense. And it's for women and women only. It's a class that's taught by the Irving Police Department Community Services Division. And it's basically, it takes women that volunteer to go out and do it, and it puts them in scenarios, and they basically teach you how to have self-defense and how to combat an assailant. So if there's somebody that is trying to attack you, it will give you a basis of what kind of force you're allowed to use against that person. What type of force are you allowed to use? How am I going to effectively combat this person? And they put you through scenarios, and you actually do get into some combative situations. No experience is necessary. It's a 12-hour basic class. 3 hours are in the classroom. 9 hours hands-on training. It's only open to women ages 11 years and older. So if you're 11 years old and you're a female, I recommend it. It's a great class. Learn a tremendous amount and learn a lot about yourself and what you're capable of as well. It's taught by police officers, and they're all certified in these techniques. So we're not going to go out there and hurt you. I'm not teaching this course, folks, because I would probably teach you something that's not right. It's free, I believe. Let me see. I think so. I believe it's. I don't know anything that we do that we charge for. So, but it's a really good program, and it's once again it's the Rape, Aggression, Defense program. It's for women 11 years and older, and I highly recommend it for anyone out there. Teach you a lot. Put you kind of get your mind focused towards that. I think that's pretty much all I've got. I've got some stickers for the kids that I'll place out there as well. They're junior officer stickers. And I've got some business cards. Like I said, I'm going to work in this area for until mid-February. And then from that point, I'll be going north. But my patch doesn't change. My kind of area changes, but my patch doesn't change. I still work for the city of Irving. And if I don't know the answer and you send me an email, I'll point you out in the right direction, hopefully. So I can field questions if anyone has any. If you're not comfortable, I'll stick around for a little while. And if you want to approach me and ask me a question, feel free.
I just got a question.
Okay, question.
I just, first of all, thank you for coming over here and going over, this hate crime. And the question I have is, what is the best way to really defend yourself? I mean, are there any classes we can go and take, or something which is really recommended by Irving Police?
Recommended by Irving Police, I can't speak on behalf of them. Any kind of mixed martial arts nowadays is very, very popular. And we're actually taught a lot of that hands-on combatives, similar techniques and things like that. Now we have guidelines and parameters that we have to stay within as police officers. We can't do certain techniques that they do in that MMA field, if you will. But those are always, you as civilians, you can. I'm restricted. I have more rules than civilians do. So those are always great self-defense courses that are available. And I don't have any personal recommendations within the area. I know there's several. I know several police officers that use several different techniques in several different places. The RAD, as far as a police department endorsed combative type arena, to answer your question, I would go with the RAD for females for sure. Did that kind of answer your question?
I think so.
Okay. Anything else? Yes, sir.
Of course, now in Texas we have open carry. That means, but that does not mean that a person's allowed to walk around carrying a handgun in their hand. It has to be holstered. Is that correct?
Yeah. And it's brand new to us. What it essentially means, and I haven't run across it yet. So essentially, the law states that you have to be a concealed handgun licensed person. So they have to have a CHL first off. Now, if you have a concealed handgun license, I don't know why you would carry it exposed. But if they so choose to, the way that the law is written, because we have had the protests with the long guns, and we've had a lot of those. And the way that law is written is, as long as it's not carried in a manner that alarms people. So a long gun that is just hung over somebody's chest and the barrel's pointing at the ground probably isn't going to alarm people, because the barrel's not pointed at them. So if they were just carrying it in their hand, if it was pointed at the ground, I would think it's probably similar. But if it's pointed at the ground, if they're just holding it, but I haven't even looked at the statute regarding whether it has to be holstered or not. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to cross that bridge when I get there, and hopefully I don't get there.
Well, 30 years ago, I did something very stupid. I know you're going to agree that it was very stupid. I intervened in a domestic squabble. I ended up getting chased down the street with what I think was a shotgun. I talked to a police officer about it at night. He said, well, the guy didn't really do anything illegal because he didn't point the shotgun at me. However, I work for the city of Carrollton, and their deal is with open carry. Now, if somebody's openly carrying a gun in most of their facilities, that's okay. I mean, it's not great, but it's okay. But if somebody has a pistol in their hand, then the police definitely should be called. But as far as the state laws are concerned, if somebody has a pistol in their hand and you're pointing at the ground, you're not sure whether or not that's legal?
I'm unsure. I'm unsure at this point, and it's really going to come down to the determination of the district attorneys in whichever county and how they decide to interpret law. I mean, law is written, and then it's interpreted several different ways, and how it comes about is the district attorney says, we're going to interpret it this way, and this is what we're going to do. Whether it's in the hand or not, I have no idea if that's actually against the statute. I'd have to look at it and go from there. as far as he brought up a good point, he saw a domestic violence incident and he intervened. Is that stupid? I don't know. It depends on the situation. Each one's going to be different. And if you're seeing somebody in it, my job is to protect life. And if I see somebody and there's a knife in this, person's hand and they're trying to stab the other person, my job is to preserve life. So would I intervene? It's one of those. That's a decision that you're going to have to make at that time. And every now and then you're challenged, dramatically by that. That's an independent person. I don't know if it was stupid. The end result didn't work out so well for you because he ended up having a weapon and chased you, and it could have been worse. And that's a point that I'd like to bring up is road rage. Various instances come up where people get agitated. You could see somebody fighting. Road rage is real common, and they'll pull over and they'll try and fight, and then one person will pull out a weapon and injure or possibly kill the other person, and it happens far too often. So those are things that need to be considered, and you could just drive away, or you could turn around and walk the other way. Okay, I got a really good description, let me call the police, and be a really good witness versus a potential victim or potentially a suspect, because your emotions get the best of you. So, and on the open carry stuff, yeah. I mean, me personally, call. If you're alarmed, that's all we need. You're alarmed. Why? I don't need anything further. I need to know, what caused the alarm. It was a pistol in this guy's hand. That alarmed me. Your level of alarm is going to be different than mine. I've been overseas twice. I was in the Army before this. I was in Afghanistan and I was in Iraq. So I've seen a tremendous amount of violence and kind of bad stuff. So I became more used to it. So my level of alarm is a lot different than somebody straight out of college. Does that make sense? And if they're alarmed, they should notify the police department. And we'll figure it out from there. And whether it's if we have a good crime, we'll gladly take them to jail. And then we'll let it all settle out in the court system. Sir.
I have a question regarding the open carry. If somebody doesn't have an open carry license, but he has a gun, and the gun is in the console of the vehicle, and if that guy has been stopped by the cop, how that person should proceed with the cop? Should I or that person should tell the cop that I have a gun which is in the console, but I'm not allowed a license to carry?
Yeah, because that's a different crime. It's not open carry. That's going to be that's going to fall more under the lines of unlawful carrying of a weapon. But is it unlawful? If I'm notified, and I like when people tell me, I have a firearm, it's in my glove box, I'm not going to reach for it. Okay, thank you. Don't reach for it. I'll be happy, you'll be happy, we'll both be safe.
But that's not unlawful though. If I'm telling you that I have a gun in my console.
As long as it's hidden and it's out of plain eyeball sight, it's okay.
Because I was reading a lot of different things and saying, you should not tell the police, you have a gun, because if you tell them, they might, going to take it a different way. And
no, you can tell us, especially if we ask for your insurance information. I say, can I get your vehicle insurance, please, sir? And you say, well, it could go one way. You just reach into a glove box and all of a sudden there's a gun. That's going to go bad. But if you say, officer, I'll gladly reach into my glove box, but I want to let you know I have a firearm in there and it's loaded. Okay, sir, let's hold off on that for a minute and we'll proceed. And I'll say, would you mind if I go and grab your insurance? No problem, officer. And then I'll go in and grab it. So there's different ways to work it, and it's going to be incumbent upon the person that's in the vehicle and incumbent upon the police officer and their level of experience, and hopefully they handle that right. And most people in my situation and my experiences have offered up that information and had no issues. And in the great state of Texas, there's firearms everywhere. So I'm not surprised that they're in vehicles. Sir.
So when we're talking about the recent hate crimes, right?
Yes.
If we analyze what happened, majority of it is sheer ignorance, right? Because people look at the outside appearance and assume things, right? So my question is, how can we work with the police department or whatever department applicable to spread that awareness, tell people about who we are, so that they can very clearly distinguish between what they perceive us to be versus what we actually are.
The people that you're going to want to work with within our police department is going to be right here. It's listed on this inside flap, and they're our community services division. And to kind of help that out, the community service division should be talking with us, the patrol officers that are out there every day, so that there's better communication, so that we can spread the message a lot better. They have their different ways on communicating and spreading a message, and so do we. But we need to be on the same page and spread the message equally. So I would start here. I think that ball's already been spun up, if you will, because Sergeant Palomar is aware of this. So, and I'll reiterate the fact to him. All right, folks. I'm going to go place this stuff out on the table, and that'll conclude my portion. Thank you.
We want to thank officer for coming along and giving very detailed account of how we need to protect. I just want to introduce again Natalia and John. If you would please stand up, both of you. And I really want to thank you for bringing this together, and I hope this can be done at other times beside our Sunday service. So thank you so much for coming along. And hopefully this helps the community create an awareness of what our duties are, as well as what the law enforcement and the attorney's duties are. Yeah, and we welcome you to stay with us and answer questions. And we have a community meal, as always, in the Gurdwara. So please join us in that. ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਆਪ ਪੁੱਛ ਸਕਦੇ, ਬਾਹਰ ਪੇਪਰ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਲਿਆਉਂਦੇ ਹਨ, ਸੋ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਣੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ. ਸੋ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ. ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਆਨੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਮਾਪਤੀ ਕਰਨਗੇ. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ.
I'm Officer Parsley with the Irving Police Department, and I'm out here at the Sikh Temple, 834 North Nursery Road in Irving, Texas. Came out today to speak with the congregation about crime prevention safety tips. We went through several safety tips regarding the residences, apartments, parking lots, and just various situations that they might encounter themselves in. Spoke to them at great lengths about not walking around solo and being in pairs, being in well-lit areas, how they could better their homes and things like that. Also spoke about the rape aggression defense program that's offered to females that are 11 years old and older, and it's a great combatives course that's offered for free by the Irving Police Department, and provided them with information regarding Community Service Division and the sergeant that's in charge of that. That's Sergeant Joe Palomar. Hopefully our relationship with them grows stronger, and we can continue to combat all crimes against anyone.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਪੋਸਟ 9/11 ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਹੇਟ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮਸ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਫॉर ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀਜ਼, ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਹਾਈਐਸਟ ਟਾਰਗੇਟ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਆਫ ਪ੍ਰੋਬੇਬਲ ਸਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਪੀਅਰੈਂਸ ਹੈ. ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਮੱਦੇਨਜ਼ਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰੀਸੈਂਟ ਹੁਣ ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਸ਼ੂਟਿੰਗਸ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਨੇ, ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰੀਸੈਂਟ ਹੇਟ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮਸ ਇਨਕਰੀਜ਼ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ. ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਨਿਸ਼ਕਾਮ ਸੇਵਾ ਅਰਵਿੰਗ ਵਿਖੇ ਇੱਕ ਅਵੇਅਰਨੈਸ ਪ੍ਰੈਜੈਂਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕਲ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਆਫਿਸਰਸ ਨੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਨਵਾਈਟ ਕੀਤਾ, ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕਲ ਅਟਰਨੀਜ਼ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਨਵਾਈਟ ਕੀਤਾ. ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪ੍ਰੈਜੈਂਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਦਿੱਤੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬੜੇ ਕੀ ਫੈਕਟਰਸ ਦੱਸੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਨੇਬਰਹੁੱਡ ਸੇਫ ਰੱਖਣਾ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਰਾਊਂਡਿੰਗਸ ਸੇਫ ਰੱਖਣੀਆਂ ਨੇ. ਤੇ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਹੇਟ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਨਾ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਡਾਕੂਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਨਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੜੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੇਟ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮਸ ਨੇ ਮੋਸਟ ਆਫ ਦੈਮ ਗੋ ਅਨਰਿਪੋਰਟਡ। ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਈ ਪੁਆਇੰਟਸ ਦੱਸੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ FBI ਹੈ ਦੇ ਹੈਵ ਸਟਾਰਟਡ ਟੇਕਿੰਗ ਸਟੈਟਸ ਫॉर ਹੇਟ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮਸ ਅਗੇਂਸਟ ਸਿੱਖਸ ਐਂਡ ਮੁਸਲਿਮਸ। ਤੇ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਹੇਟ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਦੇ ਅਨਫੋਰਚੂਨੇਟਲੀ ਜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਚੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਬੰਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਹੇਟ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਦੇ ਸ਼ਿਕਾਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਚੰਦ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੱਸੇ, ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਜੈਂਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤੀ। ਸੰਗਤ ਨੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਕੁਐਸਚਨਸ ਵੀ ਪੁੱਛੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਫਲਾਇਰਸ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਵਾਈਡ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਇਟ ਵਾਸ ਡੈਫੀਨੇਟਲੀ ਅ ਵੈਰੀ ਨੌਲੇਜੇਬਲ ਪ੍ਰੈਜੈਂਟੇਸ਼ਨ। ਐਂਡ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਨਿਸ਼ਕਾਮ ਸੇਵਾ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਵਿਸਾਖੀ ਹੈ, ਜਦੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਗੈਦਰਿੰਗਸ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਉਪਰਾਲੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਸੋ ਦੈਟ ਮੋਰ ਐਂਡ ਮੋਰ ਪੀਪਲ ਫਰੋਮ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਗੈਟ ਮੋਰ ਅਵੇਅਰਨੈਸ ਐਂਡ ਹਾਊ ਟੂ ਹੈਂਡਲ ਦਿਸ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸਮੂਹ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਇੱਕ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਨਿਸ਼ਕਾਮ ਸੇਵਾ ਵਿਖੇ ਜੋ ਅੱਜ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਪਹਿਚਾਣ ਜੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਮੁਲਕਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਘਟਨਾਵਾਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਜਾਗਰੂਕ ਹੁੰਦਿਆਂ ਹੋਇਆਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਨਿਸ਼ਕਾਮ ਸੇਵਾ ਵਿਖੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਅਵੇਅਰਨੈਸ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਜੋ ਸੈਮੀਨਾਰ ਕਰਵਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ। ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰੇ USA ਵਿੱਚ ਵਸਦੇ ਹੋਇਆਂ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਣੇ ਹੰਬਲਾ ਮਾਰੋ, ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਮੁਲਕਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਪਹਿਚਾਣ ਜੋ ਕਾਇਮ ਰੱਖ ਸਕੀਏ। ਜੋ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਘਟਨਾਵਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਅੱਗੇ ਤੋਂ ਨਾ ਘਟਣ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਡੀ ਜੋ ਆਇਡੈਂਟੀਫਾਈ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡਾ ਫਰਜ਼ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਮੁਲਕਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਇਹ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦੀ ਪਹਿਚਾਣ ਨੂੰ ਬਰਕਰਾਰ ਰੱਖੀਏ। ਇਹੀ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਫਿਰ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਹੈ। ਸਾਰਾ ਸਮੂਹ ਜਗਤ ਸਿੱਖ ਜਗਤ ਬੁਲਾਓ ਫਤਿਹ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਦਾਸ ਇਹੋ ਹੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਉਪਰਾਲੇ ਕਰਨ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦੀ ਪਹਿਚਾਣ ਆ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਹੋ ਸਕੇ। ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ USA ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਕਮੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਘੱਟ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਹਨ ਉਹ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹਨ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਉਪਰਾਲਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਰਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੱਸੀਏ ਔਰ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਔਰ ਜੋ ਹੋਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਲੀਗਲ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਪਹਿਚਾਣ ਨੂੰ ਵਧਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਇਹ ਕਰੀਏ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਦਾਸ ਆਸ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਰਿਕਾਰਡ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਪਲੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਔਰ ਬਾਕੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਲੋਕੀ ਜਾਣ ਸਕਣਗੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਉਪਰਾਲੇ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਸੋ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਰਵੇ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। I'm Swami Dev Singh Khalsa from Dallas. I'm not born in America, but I didn't become a Sikh until I was 19. Since 9/11, I've been harassed several times. I've had all the windows smashed on one side of my car on one occasion. There's been a couple of near physical confrontations. I've been called Bin Laden countless times. But it's only natural that people are going to confuse us with Muslims. But Sikhism teaches respect for all religions. And it's important to remember that the word Islam means peace. And the Muslims around the world who are committing acts of terrorism are not really Muslims, because Islam does not teach that you should victimize innocent people. Members of all various religions have committed atrocities at one time or another, perhaps even including Sikhism. But it's important to remember that the people committing the atrocities are not truly representative of their religion. They're twisting around the teachings of their religion for their own ill purposes. So it's important that we have respect for Islam and all the different religions, and we remember that we're all brothers and sisters regardless of what religion we're a member of. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਦਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਵੱਧ ਰਹੇ ਹੇਟ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਨੂੰ ਘਟਾਉਣ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਉਪਰਾਲਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਉਪਰਾਲੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਾਹਰ ਰਹਿੰਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇਸ਼ਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਰ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਰਨੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਜੋ ਸਾਡੀ ਪਛਾਣ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਸਕੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਕੌਣ ਹਾਂ? ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਹਾਂ। ਅਸੀਂ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਪਾਣੇ ਸਰਬੱਤ ਦਾ ਭਲਾ ਦਾ ਸੰਦੇਸ਼ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦਾ ਸੰਦੇਸ਼ ਸਭ ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਭ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੀ ਸਦਭਾਵਨਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ। ਬੀ ਟਰਸਟ ਇਨ ਗੋਡ, ਗੋਡ ਇਜ਼ ਵਨ, ਬੀ ਟਰਸਟ ਦੈਟ ਆਲਵੇਜ਼। ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਲੇ ਅੱਜ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀਤੇ ਆ, ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਲੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਰਨੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਜੋ ਸਾਡੀ ਪਹਿਚਾਣ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਕੋਨੇ-ਕੋਨੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਸਕੇ ਤੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਜਾਣੂ ਹੋ ਸਕੇ। ਸਿੱਖ ਜਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਦਸਤਾਰਧਾਰੀਆਂ ਜਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਰਗੇ ਅਜੇ ਸਹਿਜਧਾਰੀ ਆ, ਸਾਰੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਪਹਿਚਾਣ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਕੋਨੇ-ਕੋਨੇ ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਸਕੇ ਤਾਂ ਜੋ ਹੇਟ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਘਟ ਸਕੇ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਾਵਨਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਰਹਿ ਸਕੀਏ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
My name is John Lowett, and standing to my left is Natalia Daramku. We are partners in a law firm here in Irving, Texas, and we specialize in immigration law. As part of our practice, we also do a lot of human rights work, and we have many asylum cases, particularly from Sikh asylum seekers. And in working with our Sikh clients, it came to our attention that there was a lot of hate crimes that were going on around the country. And I approached Harbhajan because I'd already come to this Gurdwara before, and I felt that perhaps a presentation about hate crimes would help to bridge a gap between the Sikh community here in Irving and the police so that open dialogue and communication could be established. Natalia, do you want to say some things about why we're here?
I just wanted to say thank you for letting us into your community and discussing the topic of hate crimes. We did briefly review what they are and where they happen across the nation and how the community can protect against them. Thank you very much.
We would like to act as a bridge between the Sikh community and the police. I was talking with a gentleman while we were having lunch, and he was saying that a lot of people would make complaints, but they can't communicate in English. And there's no Sikh police officers in Irving. And at that point, I realized, wait, I can be the intermediary. If there's somebody here at the Gurdwara who has to make a complaint, is afraid to go to the police, or just wants somebody to go with them, I would be more than glad to help them with that, just to increase their comfort level, because there's interpreters available. And well, yes, there's a language barrier, but there is the ability to communicate, and there's plenty of Punjabi speakers here that can help in that process. And so I hope I can be a bridge in that regard as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, on behalf of this Gurdwara, I wanted to thank John and Natalia for bringing this together, this whole awareness program that we had to make people aware of what our community represents here in Irving. It's a diverse culture, and so we wanted to promote that and avoid hate crimes, not only against Sikhs, but against any community. So we hope to work together and eliminate this kind of crime in our community. That's